I love DayZ. It might be a bit cliche or overstated, but nevertheless, this rarely played game in my library never ceases to hold a special place in my heart, even if I binged it for 200 hours and never touched it again. Honestly, how could this clunky mess of a looter shooter be so inspiring to me? I think it all starts from my childhood. For those of you who don't know, this should be just about everybody watching. I'm an American of Polish descent and have great pride in my Slavic heritage. For years, I've been obsessed with anything Slavic or vaguely Eastern European, including food, music, history, and even content creators like Life of Boris into my mid to late teens. Had it not been for Boris's cooking videos, I probably would have never learned how to cook chibarek or kompot. Unfortunately, these days, it's a bit cringy to proclaim these interests, but I embrace it as part of my childhood. Either way, if you're not stupid, you can probably see where this is going in regards to gaming and Let's Plays. So let's jump right into it. Stalker, let's ignore Stalker 2 in this case, is a phenomenal example of an over-exaggerated Eastern European experience. Gray or otherwise partial overcast skies, dreary, ridiculous and hellish creatures, hilariously Slavic foods, and much more. Stalker titles feature great sound design and ambience with a strong emphasis on its environmental art and depressing feel. I, for one, love this. Maybe I deluded myself, but I have a deep love and yearning for cloudy days, as for some reason I feel warm inside. At peace, comfortable, you name it. A very, very light rain on a cloudy day with a slow, quiet morning might be the greatest experience ever. Maybe paired with a fresh loaf of bread or pierogi, it is perfection. Regardless, I believe I should pay my respects towards this game's ability to make me fall in love with overcast skies in the first place. It reminds me of a home I never lived. Truly a masterpiece, even decades later. Between the years of 2012 and 2018, DayZ became a household video game title with its iconic name. To me, at this point, the game is all but a mystery, having not seen any gameplay or media shared online until roughly 2018 or just before its official release. DayZ. It sounded like an intimidating game, and the thought of a lootable open-world zombie game was everything I dreamed of as a kid. Fast forward to my first time playing, well, the game felt very lonely at first, and still so if you're immersed enough. It was stressful trying to find gear to survive and link up with my friends. Personally, my favorite aspect was discovering towns and settlements for the first time, having no clue what comes next with zero prior map knowledge, paired with the intensity of knowing my whole squad could get wiped out in seconds. Or, alternatively, having a wholesome encounter. This might not be everyone's preferred playstyle, or even their first experience with the game, but it certainly is if you're someone who prioritizes adventure and exploration over combat. Come to think of it, my first experience was similar to exploring Minecraft for the first time. I actually think that DayZ on a 1440p monitor gives me the same reward as hiking and sightseeing without actually leaving the comfort of my own home. DayZ replicates nature quite well in certain features that aren't commonly seen in other games, namely, the swaying of the trees, the coldness of the air being visible and feeling cold, the dampness of the rain, the pitch blackness of the night, and phenomenal colors and atmosphere of the dusk and dawn. And as a connoisseur of the clouds, any and all overcast in this game looks incredibly realistic. I could go on for hours about my love for environmental attention to detail in games, which mostly comes from a love of the outdoors as a whole. The sounds of the wind, in both real life and in DayZ, is, for lack of better words, great. I would go as far as to say addicting. The first-person view model is great. The equipping and unequipping looks decent. The LODs are believable enough to keep me immersed. The crouching, sprinting, aiming, etc. animations are immersive as hell. The mantling is clean, and the transition from first to third person view is really smooth. There's a number of games out there that also replicate these things quite well, perhaps even better, but this one hits a sweet spot. I will hopefully be exploring these games in the near future, time permitting. Regarding their architectural choices, they've nailed it as well here. Commie blocks, comfy Russian dacha cabins, farmhouses, you name it. I also love the inclusion of Orthodox churches around the map as well. It only adds to the authenticity. Even with all my glazing, there's still lots wrong with the game from what I remember in my short time playing. Server-side desync was a big one, clunky melee fights, scuffed base building, and car driving mechanics as well. But that's not really the focus of this video. My goal is to talk about what I like. To be honest, some of these problems might even be seen as realistic or immersion boosting. Good world building is clearly something important to me as a player of a game, and I'm sure it's why many of you also enjoy the game as well. Yes, there's dopamine to be had in killing a geared fellow, or magically finding the same ammo caliber to fill the empty gun on your back, but it wouldn't be complete without a world that feels like it matters. One that breathes, decays, adapts. Environmental realism makes every rusted fence, flickering light, or distant howl mean something, even when the world reflects the consequences of its own history. When buildings aren't just set dressing, but remnants of lives lived and lost. It invites you to believe in the place, not just play in it. It's the quiet details, the erosion, the clutter, the subtle signs of desperation or resilience that transform gameplay into immersion. Without that, the loot and gunplay are just mechanics. With it, there's stories waiting to happen. Thanks for watching.